Hi everybody, Howard Friend here, HF Systems, and a look at some of these major markets. So kicking it off as always with euro dollar, just following on from yesterday, had upside targets for this rally at 106.42, the reaction high that we posted on the prior downtrend, and a projection target which comes in at 107.11, which we have seen this morning so far. So having seen the targets, looking a little bit overdone, turning a bit neutral now on a near-term view, looking for some kind of corrective pullback, but expecting dips to be shallow and limited to the low mid 106s prior to seeing an extension of this this move from 103.497 up through 108. Loss of 106.07 would call for a deeper retracement of this 103.497 move, although I can't really get bearish until we get below 104.59. 104.59. That would threaten the 103.497 swing low. Moving on to cable. Cable, a little bit of decoupling from the euro today. We're seeing a little bit of sterling weakness today. Quite a deep retracement of yesterday's strong bullish session. So it looks a little bit negative in the short term, having retraced quite a good chunk of yesterday. But as long as we can hold above this 124.379 inside day low from a couple of days ago, I'm still holding a kind of a bullish near-term view on this one. So looking for a bit of a bounce, maybe from current levels, to see a bit of an extension of the recent move. 126.382, the reaction high on the previous downtrend, that's still an upside target. Should we fall back through 124.379, that would suggest upside failure just above 126 the figure for a possible return to 123.297, the reaction low we've seen on the way up from the 121.551 swing low. If we get below there, then I'd have to turn bearish on a multi-week view, looking for a push through the swing low at 121.551. Across now to dollar yen. Dollar yen, yesterday I was talking about the break of inside day support, which we saw, and then we got a bit of a snapback from ahead of the 127.029 swing low. Now, holding a bearish view on this one, wasn't looking for too much beyond yesterday's bounce from the low, and this morning we've seen an upside probe stall and a little bit of renewed selling. So this to me looks like we've seen the corrective high at 128.083 this morning, and that we should be breaking through yesterday's low and seeing an attack on the swing low 127.029, below which we could see quite a fast move down into the 126s, 126 even, 126 and a half, where we've got a projection target, and also the 50-day moving average comes in just above 126.07. In the meantime, should we get back above 128.297, that for me would suggest bear failure, a base, and then scope for a powerful advance, because it would start to look a bit like we've seen an ABC down from the swing high at 131.347. But that one, for the time being, that's on a bit of a back burner. Moving across to gold. Gold has played out quite nicely, seeing an extension of the advance from the swing low at 1786.82 up into the mid 1800s. Bit of a rejection yesterday from 1865.43, bit of a small kind of upper shadow on the candlestick. But for me, the underlying structure is still quite positive. I don't see too much on the downside from here, and looking for eventual breach of 1865.43, yesterday's high, to see an extension of the rally up towards 1885 to 1889 or so, a couple of targets in that region. Should we fall back through 1836.17 from here, that would suggest upside failure above that level, the breakout point, And then I'd be looking for a possible test of 1807.08, but that level for me is the key for a resumption of the previous downtrend. So as long as we can hold above that level, I'm not really looking for new lows for the previous trend. Across to crude. So crude, we're seeing a bit of a pullback from 111.30, which is just a little bit below the old swing high here. But as I said yesterday, not really seeing too much in the way of downside because the structure for me looks very, very positive. This big reversal from 103 and subsequent push to the upside, this for me suggests that we are starting to see a bit of a bullish trend develop in the larger picture. So for me, looking for recapture of 111.30, yesterday's high, that for me would suggest that we are ready to have a crack at this 113.27 swing high. Above there, I've got a projection target which comes in at 114.77 at the moment, and that's really what we're talking about. Should we break above this this swing high, we've got a bit of an acceleration target. Meantime, should we fall back through this 107.72 support level, then that would suggest a bit more downside action within the range. But for me, 103 is really the key to a bearish trend change. So as long as we are holding above 103, for me, the bullish outlook remains intact on a multi-day, multi-week view. Moving across to S&P 500. Today, we're seeing quite a good retracement of yesterday's bullish candlestick. We're kind of pushing towards the lower end of that candlestick as in a bit of a retracement of this rebound from 38.1075. So a little bit of a test of the resolve of the bulls, but for me the bigger picture remains positive in that we have seen a big rejection from below the previous swing low here. So we've got a bit of a trap level which comes in at 38.59.85 on the S&P. So this pullback that we're seeing now, I'm expecting it to stall around above this level because we've got trapped sellers down below this level. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe over the next couple of days a bit more renewed strength kicking in. Once we can get back above this recovery high of 39.85.15, then that for me would say, yeah, we've seen the reaction low within a new positive trend, and then we can move up, test this falling 20-day moving average, which currently intersects just above 40.4056, and then this key level at 409.810. This is the last reaction high within the bear market or the correction, whatever you want to call it. Once we get back above this level, then for me, I will say we've seen a major low, and we can see a big move higher to the upside as the medium-term bulls come back into the game. Finally, onto Bitcoin. Still really not seeing a whole lot of action. It's just chopping around the 30,000 level. Very, very boring action if you're looking for typical crypto action. We're not seeing too much of that. We're stuck in a bit of a range, 28.324 up to 31.352, or even lower down, 37.24. So I've got a kind of a basing scenario which sees 25.330 as a major swing low, but really to get excited about that, I'd like to see it back above those resistance levels, and that for me would say yes, we've seen quite an important swing low, a bit like the S&P, and then we can then start talking about a multi-week rally. Okay, should we get back through 28.324 and stay there for any length of time, that would start to weaken the structure, and then that would expose 25.330. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and more to follow as time goes on. Thanks very much.